guys, welcome back to another part of the zombie apocalypse series, and today is episode 24. Guys, this is the last but one episode. I actually cannot believe it. Like, I feel like this series has gone so quick but so slow at the same time. Like, I feel like I've been doing it for so long. Like, I cannot even fathom that it's been like months since I started. I think I started like May or something. Honestly, it's insane to me, and this is the last but one episode. It's very bittersweet. I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, okay, sorry. Anyway, so in the last episode, we ended on a very sad note. Let's just say that. So Kristyn did indeed get turned into a zombie because of the fact that she stayed outside. Myles kind of was like, oh my god, I was probably the reason for this, because he was the one that told her to stay outside after everything that they found out about Kristyn and Maia's relationship. And because of all of this, Maia and Xavier decided to leave. Maia was like, I am not gonna stay here with all of this stuff, this history that's happened in the past. Like, it's just not for me. And she wanted to do something for herself, as she should. So her and Xavier decided to leave, and we are just starting at them literally having just walked out of the door. They have just gone, and we don't know where they've gone to, where they're planning on going to. All we do know is that they are indeed gone, and you know, it's for the best. They deserve to be happy in another place. You know, Maia doesn't deserve to have to think about Kristyn whenever she's here. I have a little bit on my mic. What are you doing there, buddy? Yay. Okay, sorry. I just quickly want to preface that some people were like kind of upset about Kristyn's ending, and I totally agree with you guys. Like, I am 100% on the side that I wish that Kristyn didn't have to have an ending like that. However, I'm just thoroughly not enjoying this series as much as I was in the beginning, and honestly, I'm ready for it to end. I think that sometimes you need to know when it's right to end a series, and you don't want to keep going for like hundreds of episodes when like it's very clear that like I'm just not enjoying it as much. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate filming this series or anything. Like, I still enjoy it and I like writing it and stuff. I just think that it's time to finish it and start a new story. I've never done anything like this before, and I want to delve into different storylines and different ideas that I have. Like, I have a lot of different ideas, so don't worry, this is not gonna be the only series. I also might do a season 2. I honestly from the very beginning had planned to do a season 2 as well, because like I love zombie stuff, and like I've honestly grown so attached to these Sims that like I will happily do a season 2. Just know it's not going to be like a week after this season ends. I'm probably going to take a bit of a break, at least till the new year at the least, before starting a new series, because I want to write it out thoroughly. Like, I want the next series to be written out a lot more than this one was, because this one I've kind of been writing per week, but I kind of want a more set in stone series. Because fun fact, I'll tell you guys now, all of my plans have completely changed from the beginning to now. I had planned on so much stuff to happen that had never happened, or stuff that I never planned to happen that has happened, that I just never saw coming, but that I decided to change along the way. If you guys would like a rundown of that, let me know, and I can explain it in the finale of some things that like I definitely hadn't planned out, or things that I changed because of comments or because of just how I felt after playing the series for a bit. So yeah, the reason why people were upset about Kristyn's storyline is because they feel like it was just rushed, and I totally agree with that. Like, I think that it was just a case of I've never really like grown to love Kristyn that much, and I was just kind of ready for it to go, and I just felt like it was the time. Obviously, I could have done more story, but I felt like I'd rather focus on other Sims that I prefer more than Kristyn. So hopefully, I know that if you guys loved Kristyn or whatever, I do apologize. I also felt like if I make this Sim that was toxic in a relationship have a redemption arc, it wouldn't be very nice for people that have been in toxic relationships to have to watch. Because if you've been in a toxic relationship and it's showing on a video, and then the next episode it's like, oh, but Kristyn's a lovely person, I feel like it would be really hard to watch if you've been in toxic relationships before. So I felt like the best thing to do was to just do what I did. And there's a lot of theories as to how she got infected, but I won't go into that today. I don't know. We'll never know. So yeah, sorry for a long rant at the start. Not a rant, but I just wanted to talk with you guys quickly at the start because I've had a few questions. Okay, so we are here right now with them, and as you can see, Maia and Xavier have just left. I'm not sure, maybe they'd go up to that ranch, but I felt like she wouldn't want to stay that close to home. I feel like maybe they'll go off a lot further, try and travel somewhere else and survive somewhere else. Hopefully they survive. So as they're all stood here, apparently Erin really needs to pee, babes. I'm so sorry. And also Nico apparently is very hungry. That's not okay, sure. And oh my god, Tio, guys, what is going on? I mean, to be fair, it has been a bit of an emotional day yesterday. I will say that Sims time is kind of different. Like, for example, I feel like that one day was probably over the course of, you know, like a month or something or whatever in Sims time. So they've all just watched as Xavier and Maia have walked away. They are just watching, what is that? Scoring simoleons. I don't need simoleons. I'm in an apocalypse, you numpty Sims game. Okay, sorry, aggressive. So Erin, Adalynn, Nico, Tio, and Myles now the only survivors, which is insane when you think about how we started. There's been a lot of deaths, a lot of people leaving. So they are all just stood here, and they have all just watched through the doors as Xavier and Maia have left, all feeling kind of bittersweet about it. On the one hand, you know, it's nice having more people here, but on the other hand, they kind of understand where Maia's coming from, and you know, of course she'd want to leave. Like, they totally understand that, and they're glad that she's doing this for herself. So as Xavier Xavier and Maia go out of view, they all, oh my god, navigating needs. I don't care. Oh, how do I turn this off quickly? There we go. Honestly, the cheek of these people. Anyway, so as they're all stood here and they've just watched Xavier and Maia just go off into the distance over the horizon, they can no longer even see them anymore. All four of them just look on. Are you joking me? Oh, are you joking? All four of them just look on over to. Are you joking me? What is going on? I've disabled them. Calm down. Okay, calm down. I swear to God. I swear to God. What is going on? I swear. I can't. Please say it's done now. That's got to be it, right? That has to be it. Oh my... I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I don't know what to do. It's off. Guys. Right. Can we mute their phones? Okay. As I was saying, they all go ahead and look on over to Myles to see how he's doing. If you recall, he came out here and gave Maia the picture of her whole family and he said goodbye to her, and it was quite a moment for him where he kind of felt like maybe this is a bit of closure from Kristyn. So as they're all looking at him, Myles is just stood here and he's just stood here for a few minutes, not saying a thing. But then he just quickly turns around and walks on back into the bedroom where he came from and closes the door right behind him. They all look over at him as he walks away and not knowing if any of them should go in there and talk to him. And as the door closes, Erin looks over at adalynn and says, Ads, how's he doing? How's he holding up? Is he doing okay? I feel bad not saying anything to him, but I don't even know, really what to say or anything. And adalynn just replies with a sad face and she just says, I have literally no idea what is going on with him, like right now. I don't even know how, I feel like so lost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know if he needs me there. I don't know if he wants me there. I don't know, if I should try and comfort him. I don't know how to comfort him. I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel so out of my league. I just don't know how to do this. I'm not great at this kind of thing. I've never, I don't know how to deal with this. I mean, I just really want him to say something. I just really want to talk to him about it or something, or him to just say one word to any of us or something. I don't know, because I'm just so worried about him. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I feel like he's just gonna shut down. I feel like his whole body is just shutting down. He's just not doing anything, and I don't want him to just not do anything. He needs to do stuff, but then again, he's just gone through this, so I don't know what to do. I basically all I'm saying is I have no idea what's going on with him is the point of that. And Erin just replies to adalynn, look, I don't know. Okay, or she's going out for a wee. Okay, well, you get the point. She just replies, look, well, I don't know how he needs comforting. It's not like we know him that well, so I don't know, but I mean, I feel like if he just wants to stay in the room by himself, if he's just in there and he's happy to be in by himself, maybe just leave him. Maybe he just needs a space. I don't know. I guess if he wants to, I'd just leave him. And adalynn just does a weak smile at Erin. Oh my god, and now she's going out for a week. Good golly, guys, what are you doing? Also, what's going on here? Okay. And she just weakly smiles over at Erin and it's just yeah. Sure, yeah. She's just feeling really concerned about Myles, and she just absolutely hates not knowing what to do. She doesn't know what to say. She just really hates not knowing what to do about this, and she just feels so lost and so useless in this situation, given all of the time that Myles has comforted adalynn with the baby, with Hazel, everyone basically that she's lost or anything, he's always been there for her every time, even when they didn't really like each other to that much. So to not even be able to know what he wants is actually killing her on the inside. But obviously she can't let him know that because he's going through way more stuff right now, and it's a fun time here in the cabin. I'm joking. Sarcasm, darling. And as they just stood here, all of a sudden they hear the door open and Myles walks through, fully clothed, ready to go outside. They all watch as he walks past them. And as he walks on over to the stables, like I say, he's completely fully dressed. He's got his cold weather clothes on. He's ready for winter, and he just goes outside and he just starts crafting. They all are very confused as to what the hell is just going on and why he's just decided to just walk on by. The fact that he's upright and the fact that he's out the door and clothed and not like he was all the day before. Adalynn decides to look through the window to see where he's going, and she sees him over there under the stables working on something or other. I don't know, but he's got woodwork. He just hit himself in the head. For goodness gracious, Myles. And he's just working on stuff. Adalynn just says to Erin, I'm gonna go out there. He's gonna freeze out there. He can't be out there by himself. But as Adalynn starts walking over towards the door, Erin grabs onto her arm and just stops her and just says, Adalynn, I know that you want to come for him, okay? I know that, and I get it, and I get it. If it was you out there, like, I'd want to do the same, but Myles isn't like us, okay? We can see that. Like, he does not, I don't think he needs anyone right now. I think you should just leave him and just leave him to be alone, okay? Even though I know you don't want to, but just stay in here and just watch him or something from a distance. He'll be fine, okay? We're out there all the time. And Adalyn's just like, oh, this is killing me. This is actually killing me, not knowing what to do right now. But instead, she decides to stay in here. She knows that it's the right thing to do, or at least she hopes it is. And, you know, she'll obviously listen to Erin's advice and stay in here. So she's just gonna continue to watch him from inside. I mean, it's a decent view, I guess, through these icy panes, and just watch him from afar rather than disturbing him. And he clearly wants to be by himself if he's gone out there by himself. You know, he would have asked someone else to go with him if he wanted that. Of course, that was also the place that Kristyn, you know, was turned as well. So it's not a great place to be in, really. But I mean, you know, Tio spent many days out there, so hopefully it should be okay. But she just keeps checking back and forth. She keeps going upstairs, checking on Halo. Then she comes back downstairs, checks on Myles, and just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Basically just twiddling her thumbs and really feeling quite lost right now. And whilst this is happening, Erin and Nico sit next to each other on the bench and they eat their breakfast, aka the carrots. Honestly, the carrots have become the most iconic character in this whole series. There's more carrots in the series than there is zombies. Like, it's actually insane. More carrots in this series than there is Sims, any zombies, anything, basically. Carrots are the #1 main character. Love them. Honestly, keeping this whole thing going. They are sat next to each other and they constantly just like keep giggling as they look over to one another. Like, there's literally no reason as to why they're giggling. Like, they both have no, like, they're not saying anything really, but just looking over each other, they're just like kind of giggling. Now, obviously, they're trying to do this very discreetly, given the fact that Adalynn is constantly coming back to sitting in the living room, and, you know, they don't want to be all happy and giggly around her, but also they can't really help it that much. It's just kind of like happening, even though they're feeling sad about Kristyn still and about Myles, but it's quite difficult to keep it together when they're sat next to each other. That sounds kind of mean. It sounds like they're laughing at each other's faces. That is definitely not true. Oh my god, guys, you're flirting. Oh my god, I did not even click this. Some of you guys said that, like, you know, the first kiss and that they kissed the second time, that was not meant to happen. Like, that was just autonomous. Some of you guys said that's like your headcanon. I actually love that. That's hilarious. Anyways, sorry. But after finishing her breakfast, Erin looks on over to Adalynn to see how she's doing after she's just come back down from checking on Halo. And she's just sat there still, just not, you know, doing anything, just not saying anything. And she looks extremely worried. Erin kind of knows all of the different faces that Adalynn has, all the different expressions. She's one of those people that you can literally tell how she's feeling based on her face. Like, she's a very expressive person. Like, as you can see, I mean, look at that frowny face. She's literally Florence Pugh. Like, that is Florence Pugh frown level. You know what I mean? So I think that it's very obvious as to what she's feeling based on just her facial expressions. She's not very good at covering it at all. So Erin is like, this is a sad Adalynn right now. This is a worried Adalynn. And as much fun as Erin is having sat here with Nico right now, she's still, it's like, I cannot let my best friend just sit there. I cannot let her just sit there like this. So she just goes on over to Adalynn. She grabs her arm and she just drags her over into the bedroom. Adalynn is not very willing, but she still goes nonetheless. They go and sit down onto the bed and Erin just says, Adalynn, why are you so worried about Myles? Like, I didn't even think that you guys got on that well. Like, I know that, you know, you got closer and I know that he helped you with Halo and stuff, but is there a reason why you're being so, you know, worried about him? I mean, I know he seems like a good guy, and Adalynn just says, okay. I know. Is it that obvious? Is it really that obvious, Erin? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I think I may have a crush on him. I know. Okay. I know we're in apocalypse. This is so stupid. And like, not the time right now. Like, I've got a baby and I've got, you know, he's a good friend. And like, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out and all this. And I don't know, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the hair. Like, ever since it grew out longer, I was like, damn, you know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. Maybe you don't know what I mean, but I feel like I don't know. I just feel like we have this connection that like, I feel like he feels as well. And I just want to, you know, see where that goes. But I want to make sure that he knows that I'm there for him. Like, he's there for me, because I don't want it to be like this one-sided thing where like, I'm just not even there for him and just being useless whenever he's feeling like this, because I want him to know that like, I'm there and like, I'll be there for him and I'll stay there with him if he ever needs me. But I also like, don't know, like, I was going to tell him about the whole crush thing, but then, you know, with Kristyn, and I didn't know when to tell him. And now I'm just like, okay, well, it's too late now, isn't it? And I can't really tell him now. And I don't really know if I want to tell him, because what if I tell him and he doesn't feel the same way, or like, I don't know. And basically, I know it's actually insane, okay? I do know that. And I know that he's also like 10 years older than me, I think, somewhere around that age. But I don't know, we just clicked. I don't know. And I just want to make sure he's feeling okay. And not just in a romantic thing, but also kind of in a romantic thing. Because like, look at him. You know what I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But look at him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So that's why. Honestly, it's been so difficult keeping this from you. Like, the minute I started feeling, I was like, Erin! But I was like, maybe I shouldn't, because like it's kind of weird. But then I was like, maybe I should. But then I was like, but then we're from the Hayden, and I don't know how I'm gonna do a relationship, if I ever gonna do a relationship, and it's just not feel like a great time. But also, like, if it happens, it happens, and like it's just life, I guess. And I don't know, it could be a great love story if you think about it. But yeah. And Adalynn just watches over as Adalynn is talking about this. She's feeling kind of. It sucks. Is the moral of that story. It really sucks to hear her talk about Myles like this and not her, even though it's a difficult one, guys. She's feeling a lot of things and she doesn't know how to explain them, and neither do I, because it's just so confusing in her brain right now. And as Adalynn finishes up telling her story and talking a million miles per hour, as she does, and so do I, but that's okay. We are one. We are the same. Erin just looks at Adalynn and she's just like, oh, cool. I feel like I need to tell you something right now. And it's been really like plaguing me since it happened. And I feel like I need to tell you it, but because I just hate keeping secrets from you, as you know. Like, I'm not good at this, but I've just had to keep this one, I guess. Okay. And Adalyn's like, you managed to keep a secret from me? I'm impressed. Okay, go on then. I'm intrigued as to what this is. And Erin just says, okay, I was the one that untied Hayden. It wasn't Myles. He just took the fall from me. I didn't think he was gonna, but he just took it instead. And then I didn't feel like it was right to tell you because I felt bad about it, but also I felt. And Adalynn just looks at Erin as she's saying this, and then she just goes, what you you did that. You untied him. What? Why would you, Erin? Why would you do that? Like, I don't understand why you would do that. And Erin was not expecting this reaction. She's like, oh my god, I thought that she would be fine because now she's crushing on some other guy. She's probably forgotten about Hayden, and she just thought this would be the right time to say it and, you know, finally get it off of her chest, because it's been killing her keeping it all this time. It's been ages. It's been months, and she's been keeping this secret, and she just finally wanted to say it, and she was expecting that this would be a perfect time because now, you know, Myles is in the picture. But no, Adalynn is not reacting the way that Erin expected. And Erin's like, Adalynn, I'm sorry. I thought that this was like a good thing to do at the time. I thought for you and the baby, you know, and maybe you'd have a better life, because he was just a zombie. Like, what were we gonna do? Wait for a cure? Like, it's not realistic. And he was just there, and you were feeding him, and I couldn't stand the idea of you just like, you know, getting turned or anything. And that baby, and Adalynn just says, you didn't even know about the baby, Erin. You did not know. You knew nothing. You knew absolutely nothing about the baby. None of us knew that I was pregnant, okay? You untied him because of me, not because of the baby. Don't go lying to me like that right now. So what, you get a happy ending with your amazing love life with Nico, and I just have to deal with the fact that you were the one that untied him, and basically you killed Hayden, Erin. You were the one that killed him. If he hadn't have been untied, he might have been alive now, and Halo would have had a dad. And Erin just says, what? This has nothing to do with Nico. Why are you even bringing this up right now? This has literally nothing to do with them. Nico is a human being, okay? They are real, and they're not a zombie. They're not this thing that could kill us at any moment, okay? It was dangerous, and it was the best thing to do at the time. And I don't even understand why you're reacting like this. You thought that Myles had done it all this time, and what, you were crushing on him? It was totally fine when Myles had done it, but when I do it, it's immediately a really horrible thing that I've done. I thought that I was doing you a favor, and you know what? I'm glad I did it. And Adalynn responds, no, you know what, Erin? You knew how much I loved Hayden. Myles just was there. He didn't know our relationship. He didn't know how I felt about Hayden, but you did. You knew exactly how I felt about Hayden. You were with us for months before all of this, and you knew how I felt and how we felt together, and you did that. You basically just killed him. And they continued to just argue each other for 10, 20 minutes, shouting and arguing more than they've ever argued before since knowing each other, until eventually Erin decides she's had enough, and she says, you know what, Adalynn, I'm glad that I lured that zombie to him, okay? And all of a sudden, Adalynn completely goes silent as she looks over at Erin, and she goes, what? What do you mean? And Erin just says, nothing. I don't know what I just said that. And Adalynn just responds, no, tell me what you mean by that, Erin. And Erin just responds, look, Oh god. Okay. On the day of the outbreak, when I researched, you know how I researched how to lure zombies on the internet. I didn't do that so that we could escape. I did it so I could put some of my blood onto the balcony just before Hayden got out there, and so that he'd get zombies lured to him. And Adalynn just absolutely stares at Erin in shock. And Erin continues and says, I didn't know that you'd be right behind him, okay? Like, I thought he would just go out there whilst you guys were arguing. He would go out there and then I'd put the blood on there just before he went out. And then I thought that he could just turn into a zombie and then we could just go and me and you could survive, because he wouldn't survive, right? He wouldn't have survived anyways. Like, he wouldn't have been good at it. And Adalynn just moves her head back and she just stares at Erin, and she's just looking at her right now, and she cannot even fathom the words that she's saying. It doesn't even sound like real. And Erin just says, look, okay, I know that this sounds like insane, and I know that I should not have done it, okay? I know that now. But I don't want to tell you this, okay? I did not want to tell you this because you have this lovely idea of Hayden in your head, and I thought after he was gone, you might as well just keep it that way. But Hayden, he tried to kiss me when you were out with, I think you were with your friends or something. It was like a couple of weeks before the outbreak, and he tried to kiss me whilst we were just there by ourselves. I immediately turned him down. I was like, no, this is, you're literally my roommate's boyfriend. Like, no, I'm not doing, like, no, what are you even thinking right now? He only knew me for like, what, 2 months before this, and he decided to, I don't know. The point is, he tried to do that, and I thought, maybe it was just a mistake or something, so I just thought I would leave it. Then one time I came back to the apartment and he was there with a girl. I don't know who she was, but he was with her, and you were out again. And as I tried to like leave the room so that I could go, I don't know, tell you maybe. We weren't even that close. I didn't know what to do, but I thought maybe I could tell you. But then as I tried to, he told me that if I said anything to you, that he would tell you that I was the one that tried to kiss him. And you know, we barely knew each other, Adalynn. I thought that if I did that and I told you, and that he would tell you that, you know, we only knew each other for a few months. You were dating for a year. I thought you would take his side immediately, and we were getting close, and I was really starting to really like you, and I just didn't have anyone in the city, and I didn't want to lose you out of all people. And I thought maybe it's best not to say anything. And then I thought, well, if I get him out of the picture, you never have to find out about it, and it would be for your own good. But then you took him along with us, and I didn't know what to do. And Adalynn has just been staring at Erin in complete and utter shock. She had zero idea that any of this was happening. She saw Hayden in a light that was perfect and that would never do anything like this. She was like, he's different, you know, he's not like that, even though he had cheated in past relationships. But she thought, you know, this is different, and he promised her that. And after just staring at Erin in silence, after Erin finishes talking for a few minutes, Adalynn just hugs Erin on the bed as she cries into Erin's shoulders after hearing this. And they continue to do this for quite a while, at least an hour or so. After a while, Adalynn and Erin eventually come out into the living room. Erin helps Adalynn go upstairs through the chimney and go up to see Halo. Nico looks on over to Erin like, what happened? Because they were in there for quite a while. And Erin just looks over to them and just shakes her head and continues to walk away. Erin's emotions are all over the place right now, because as much as she's enjoying spending time with Nico and kind of being in a kind of relationship, not really, but you know, they're kind of flirty, you know, a bit flirty. Sorry, I hate doing romance stuff, so yeah. I will try and make a joke out of it when I can. But as much as she's feeling, you know, happy with Nico, she's kind of still got this thing where she's like, I love Adalynn. And that love for Adalynn, she just doesn't feel like is ever gonna go away. Like, she's really trying not to feel this way. And she thought that, you know, maybe with Nico, it would go away. But unfortunately, it's not. And hearing that Adelynn's found out about her and Nico is, for some reason, it made her feel like a little anxious and like guilty. in a way, which makes zero sense, but she feels like she should be there for Adalynn rather than Nico, but she also likes Nico and she really is enjoying spending time with them. So she doesn't know how to stop the feeling of love for Adalynn. She doesn't like, she's not in love with Adalynn, if that makes sense, but she has love for Adalynn. And she doesn't know how to separate the romance from the platonic. And she's struggling to get to that place where she can just be friends with Adalynn and have love for Adalynn that's completely 100% platonic and not in any way romantic. Adalynn goes ahead and comes up to Halo and takes care of her. I just thought I would show you guys some cute moments with them because I feel like I'm not spending that much time focusing on Halo, but honestly, babies are like such lumps in The Sims 4. Like, they're so useless. So until she becomes an infant, it's not that enjoyable, you know? Oh my god, hello? Okay. But yeah, she's here. She keeps popping up to take care of her. If you don't see that happen, it is happening. It's just that I'm not showing it. But yeah, there's this cute little moments between the two of them. And once she's done with that, Adalynn is gonna go ahead and go on over to Myles. After everything she's just found out about Erin and about Hayden and stuff, she kind of wants to check on him. He literally has not stopped doing this all day. He hasn't took a breath of air. He has been doing it non-stop since this morning, which was like 9 a.m. and it's now like 3 p.m. He's been doing it just constantly. Adalynn taps Myles on the shoulder and Myles quickly jumps around, startled, and it's like, oh my god. And his whole body kind of shakes. He's quite breathless, struggling to breathe after he's been quite scared from that. But Adalynn just says, oh god, Myles, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. I just wanted to see if you needed anything. I didn't know if you wanted like maybe water, maybe a carrot. I know it's not great, but maybe a carrot, you know, or just anything really, if you need anything. And Myles just looks at her and just slowly shakes his head. As Adalynn turns around to start walking away, sad that he still doesn't want her for anything, Myles, who's continuing woodworking, just says, thank you anyways, Adalynn. And Adalynn just looks at him as he continues woodworking and she just smiles slightly at the ground. Oh my god, babes, walking into me. And also on a phone that doesn't exist, sure. And she just smiles as she looks at the ground. Even though it's like the absolute, like, it's just one thing of him just saying thank you. She knows now that he's appreciative of the fact that she is trying to help. And she's glad that he knows that she's there and at least, you know, trying to help in some way. And as it starts snowing more, Adalynn walks back over to the cabin to hear Tio shout out, Blue's older, look! Adalynn, Nico, and Erin all look over to see that Bo the horse, aka Blue, is his real name. So he is now Blue from now on, now that Tio has, you know, said that he knows that this is just a horse, has aged up finally into an adult. Look how big he is. I actually can't even believe it. I did not know. Like, I've still yet to play with horses. This is the only time I play with horses because, like, I don't know, I just don't play the game that often. Other than this is the only time I actually play Sims. So this is like crazy. Look how massive he is compared to Tio. I like to imagine that Tio's kind of short, like, I don't know, like 5'7" or something. And I feel like this is like brilliant because I feel like he's like so tall and like he used to be smaller than Tio and now he's so much bigger. And they all watch as Tio gets his face licked by Blue and he's giggling and laughing as he talks to talks to Blue. God, I'm in such a habit of saying Bo the horse that it's hard to say Blue. And as Nico looks over at Tio and is smiling away, grinning and just seeing Tio be so happy with Blue, Erin looks at Nico, who's smiling at Tio, and she also has a massive grin on her face. Seeing Nico this happy is making her very happy, and seeing Tio this happy is making her happy, and seeing Blue this happy is making her happy, and she's just smiling away. Oh my good god, this is not what you need, is it? Jesus Christ. And Adalynn notices Erin smiling at the two of them, and it kind of brings a bit of a smile onto her face as well. It's nice to see most of them happy and to not be having another traumatizing experience like they always seem to have, and to just be content and to kind of feel like this little family that they are. Oh my god, what would their, like, who would be who, like, in a family dynamic? I feel like these two are low-key the parents. Like, I just get that energy from them. Like, I feel like they're the parents. I don't know. I feel like there's like a proper like family dynamic going on here and it's really cute. So they all take it in turns playing with Blue and smiling and laughing, getting their faces fully licked by a horse, which honestly, this is quite terrifying. Like, oh my good god, like, that's quite a large head. I'd be a bit nervy. I'd be a bit nervy if that was coming towards my face. Not gonna lie, I feel like my nose was going to get bitten off, but hopefully that does not happen. I don't think that's a Sims feature, thank the gods, because I would not enjoy that. But Blue is just like making them all happy. I think that seeing something that hasn't got all of the trauma that they have, like, they're, you know, this is just a horse, you know, he's just living his best life, and like the others have all of this stuff and all of these feelings, but this is just a horse living and being happy. and being content with hay in it. You know what I mean? Like, this horse doesn't have worries about the zombie apocalypse, and they kind of all trying to take a bit of a page from that book, you know? Oh my god, look at that eye. That is terrifying. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's not what you want. That is not what you want. Absolutely not. Okay, let's leave. Anyways. Also, now that Xavier and Maya are gone, and also Kristyn, but that sounds a lot less happy when you say it like that. But we now have beds for everyone. So Adalynn obviously sleeps upstairs with Halo with this disaster. Honestly, you know what, babes? You know what, babes? I'm gonna be lovely. I'm gonna be a doll. I'm an absolute legend like this, okay? I'm gonna help you out because this is looking manky as hell up here, and it's actually physically impossible for her to clean it up because they're up in a ladder. So I'm just gonna do it for you. There you go, my baby. My baby? Ew, did I just say my baby? Bro, that is not what you want to hear coming out of my mouth. Anyways, yes, so I think that I think Myles will have this bed. Then I think maybe Tio can go on here on the top bunk. We'll have Nico on the bottom bunk, and then we'll have Erin in here. We even have a spare bed, which is insane. We never used to have that. We never used to have that luxury, but here we are. And I think it seems like we might have some different food to eat tonight. We have garlic. I don't know how much I'd want to eat that. We also have a few extra tomatoes, so maybe we could eat a tomato each. That's very thrilling. Actually, one person's missing out. Although, no, you know what? We'll eat them all. We don't have to leave any spare. I've got them planted. It's fine. And we also have a mound of carrots. Honestly, these carrots are genuinely so iconic. It's actually quite amusing to me. Let's go ahead and eat these. Everyone gets a tomato each. We're so lovely like that. Good lord. This being our treat for the day, it's quite shocking really, isn't it? Oh, maybe we could try and knit. Oh, that's horrible. We haven't done this since Hazel, but maybe she like has a book or something and we can try and knit some socks maybe. About some raccoon socks. That's cute. Also, I don't even want to talk about my hair today. I don't even know what's going on with it. I'm trying to go out my fringe and therefore I look like this. And you know what? It's terrible. Like, what is in who? In who? In what universe? Does that look good? It doesn't. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Don't look at it ever again. Thank you. Love you the most. As the sun is starting to set, Myles comes back into the cabin and he is carrying 2 stones under his arms. They all go ahead and look over to him, wondering what he's carrying. You know, the fact that he's come back in, considering it's been all day, is good news at least. He just looks at everyone and then he just uses his head to like nudge, show them the direction. Which direction would it be? That way. There we go. Shows them the direction, like, you know, come here. They all make their way outside and follow Myles as he walks over to the gravestone area. And as he gets over here, he goes ahead, kneels down and puts down 2 tombstones, one which he's carved Kristyn's name into and the other says Hazel. And on Kristyn's, underneath her name, it just says, I miss you. Myles kneels down next to Kristyn's gravestone after just placing them down, and he places down a picture of him and Kristyn from when they were young that he'd kept with him throughout all of this. He never wanted to get rid of it. He wanted to keep it. It was one of the things that he kept in his backpack all of this time, even though it was probably a waste of space, he thought. But Kristyn said the same thing. She was like, bro, just get rid of it. Like, we don't need this. You know, we've got each other. We'll remember it forever. But he kind of just thought, you know, maybe I should keep it. And now with everything, he's goddamn thankful that he did keep it, because he's now forever got this picture of them together, considering he probably wouldn't have any other photos of her if it wasn't for this one. And he sits there looking at the tombstone as he wipes away his tears and sniffles and like makes sure he doesn't cry. He doesn't want to cry anymore, and he just stares, holding the photo before he places it down, and he just whispers to himself, I'll always love you, Kristyn. Then he stands back up and walks to the back of the group as they're all staring at him, and he just stands behind them. They all know that the right thing to do now is to memorialize both Kristyn and Hazel, and since Kristyn now has this to remember her by, and she's got her brother, Adalynn walks on over to Hazel's gravestone. Adalynn was probably the closest to her by far. Like, you know, she kind of got close to Tio a little bit and Erin, but not really, whereas Adalynn and Hazel did get close really fast. She tells herself, like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, as she looks over at the stone and sees her name written on it. Adalynn walks over to the gravestone, kneels down and puts a rose in front of it. She doesn't really have anything in particular she can use to remember Hazel by. You know, there was no specific thing that screamed Hazel, but now she's here with Charlie and they've got each other now, even though it's very bittersweet, but at least they're together. And she felt like a flower, something so lovely and so caring. I don't know how to put it. It's so pretty. pretty would be the perfect thing for Hazel, even though it probably die quite soon, but still. Oops. And just as she goes to speak, she's like, no, actually, I'm just gonna say this in my head, because she doesn't feel the need to say this aloud. Instead, in her mind, she just thinks about Hazel. Rather than thinking about how she died, she thinks about the memories they've got of sitting in there on the sofa and knitting, or her helping Adalynn get through labor. And that's the kind of thing she wants to remember Hazel by. Even though it's hard to not think about the fact that she went in such a horrible way, she'd rather think about this stuff, and that should be the way that she should be remembered by. And all of them do the same thing. As the night starts to get even darker, they all stand around the graves. Rather than having the funeral that they had last time with Hazel and Bo, they decide to just do a silent one. And rather than it being a proper like funeral, be more of a memory, you know, a memory place and somewhere that they can come to be grateful for the time they've spent with them rather than feel sad about it. But eventually they all go back in except for Blue, who is actually huge. It's actually crazy. And they all head their way back inside, feeling glad that they have this place now to remember them all by. Honestly, when you look at this, it's crazy. I forget which order it is, but we've got Hayden, we've got Bo, we've got Charlie, Kristyn, and Hazel. Like, that's a lot of people, but it's also nice that they have a place permanently there for them. Oh, also, one thing I totally forgot to mention, in between episodes, I decided to give them a bit of a makeover. Adalynn has a different hair now, so does Nico. Nico's has grown a little bit. Tio's is the same, just because I like that hair on him, and I don't think I changed Myles' hair, no, but I did change like the sleepwear and stuff finally, so yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Totally forgot to mention that at the start of the episode. I did it like ages ago, so I just totally blanked, but yeah. And eventually, everyone in the cabin has gone to sleep. We have Myles in here, Erin in there, and upstairs, of course, we have the two who, honestly, okay, well, I was gonna say we were asleep, but of course, Adalynn has to take care of Halo and then go to sleep. There we go. Please go back to bed, babes. There you go. Thank you. So anyways, guys, that is where I'm gonna leave it this episode. I cannot believe this was episode 24. I can't believe the last one is the finale. It's actually crazy. Hopefully this is a longer episode. I tried my best to make it longer, so hopefully it is. I really want the last two to be, you know, I want it to be more jam-packed with stuff going on, but the last one should be a good one, hopefully. I feel there's so much pressure on it now. Like, I feel like because the series, you guys love it so much, I feel like there's so much pressure on the last episode, so please don't build up your expectations too high because I'm nervous it's not gonna live up to it, but I'm not gonna fully close it off in case we want to do a season 2. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the future of the series, and let me know what you thought of this episode, of course, as well. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I'll see you guys in another video. I love you guys. Bye. I don't know what that was. Anyways.